Kanye West has had it with this beef between Tidal and Apple, and he took to Twitter to talk about it. He went on Twitter recently and he said, "This Tidal-Apple beef is fucking up the music game. I need Tim Cook, Jay-Z, Dez, Jimmy, Larry, me, and Drake, Scooter on the phone or in a room this week. Fuck all this dick-swinging contest. We all gonna be dead in 100 years. Let the kids have the music. Apple, give Jay his check for Tidal now and stop trying to act like you, Steve." Referring to Steve Jobs. We can assume, we can draw that connection. Kanye has always been a big fan of Steve Jobs.
What if it's Steve Martin?
Maybe.
What if it's Steve Madden?
Make some shoes. Right, I'm speculating, but let's say that it's Steve Jobs. So this basically comes as a result of the fact that when you are a member of Apple Music, and you're only a member of Apple Music, you can't have any of that Tidal good stuff, and then Tidal exclusives are exclusive to Tidal, and basically you're just different platforms are monopolizing music that they have the exclusive rights to, and that, messes up a lot of kids that can't really afford just all this streaming service left and right, not to mention Spotify in the same conversation. So West seems to be referring with these tweets to speculation that Apple is interested in buying Tidal, combining the two companies, which would solve this problem and give everyone access to all the music catalogs that they have available. Brett, what do you think about this?
So they're trying to catch Spotify, which is 30 million subscribers. There's 12.4 million subscribers to Apple Music and 4 million subscribers to Tidal. So even if they do combine, they're still not going to beat Spotify. That said, there's things that are available on Apple Music that are also available on Spotify. It'll help people get the music. My central criticism of this is like, Kanye, you're the worst negotiator. And have you never heard of calling their assistants?
No one likes...
I'm gonna put him on blast.
My favorite way to get invited to a meeting is when I'm put on blast on Twitter.
And he's being like, listen, the guys with the money that I want.
Okay.
You're never gonna be the person, you're so self-conscious that you're not.
So I agree with you on that point. But recently I have gone through a bit of a Kanye renaissance where I've rediscovered a lot of his music, and I have been, listening to his first album, his latest album. I have come to terms with the fact that I'm actually a rather big Kanye fan.
Same.
And with that, and with that comes sort of understanding how his brain works and the good that I really do think he's trying to do in the music industry today. And I think that so part of me finds him calling out the Apple and Tidal executives annoying. Part of me finds that annoying for sure. But part of me is like, yeah, this is a problem that people have sort of speculated on for a while. We've known that there's this tension between Tidal and Apple. I kind of like the transparency here. I kind of like that he's saying, fuck this, it's just a dick-swinging contest at this point, which it is. It's kind of like playing chicken, who's going to blink first? Because you know that Apple and Tidal have to react if they even dream of catching Spotify.
He wants that Beats by Dre money.
Yeah.
Because Dre got paid.
That's true. But Dre also found a market that, he created his own niche market. And I think that what Kanye wants, he's not looking at, it's not so much as branding as it is truly a love and passion for music and people having access to that music. And, I think that that's what he's trying to do. I can't fault him for that because Apple and Tidal, do need to figure out what the fuck they're going to do if they want to be a competitor to Spotify. Because right now show of hands, there are 4 people in this room right now. Who has Tidal? Who has Apple? Who has Spotify?
Who steals from people?
No.
I don't. Someone left it logged in on my Spotify on my phone, and I used it for a long time. And then they changed their password, and I was like, this is wrong.
Just to break down that vote, by the way, of the 4 people in this room, 1 person had Spotify, no one had Apple, no one had Tidal.
And it used to be back in the day, similar to what the Life of Pablo release was. It used to be you could only exclusively get this music by buying it. And now it's not even that. While The Life of Pablo did double subscribers to Spotify by Forbes or Newsweek or whoever reported that, it's not even if you want it, you gotta buy it. It's if you want a ton of stuff, you have to subscribe for 1 month max.
Yeah.
So, and then you cannot. So for $10, you can have access to a jillion things. But they're changing it. And that's the millennial idea of living is this subscription model. And there's been all these studies where it says, listen, we're not going to own cars, we're not going to own houses, we're just going to rent everything for a minute. You know, maybe you pay your rent on your thing, and that's on your house, and that's your most regular thing. Otherwise, you're going to spend a subscription fee, a smaller subscription fee than a lease would be, to a service where if a car is available, you can rent it, you know, or take it out. And that's what they're trying to shift. That's what Adobe does with like Photoshop software that we use all the time on this show, and the editing software that we use. Instead of buying the program and buying a new one when a new version comes out, you pay a monthly subscription. So what happens to all of our pocketbooks is over time, we're like, oh, I just get to pay a little every month, but you never own anything. So over time, you're spending way more on shit than you otherwise would. So I think the fewer, by one account, the more subscription services there are, the less each one's going to be because of competition. But I think they should just figure a new way out to do it. Maybe all Spotify, we all pay one subscription fee, or just go back to the old model of using fucking ads. So I just listen to it and marketers pay the bill. I don't know. It's a lot to digest. But
I like that at least Kanye West is doing what he does best to try and get people to the table. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, if anything. You know, because this could have just been a late night tweet that he put out just to see what the reaction would be. But I would like to think that Tidal and Apple could maybe work together, because they do have such, I mean, the catalog that Tidal has is awesome, and it's not fair that some people can't afford it.
Yeah.
You know, to listen to some of the work that they have on there. But we want to hear from you in the comments section below. Are you a member of Spotify, Apple, Tidal? What do you think about this whole beef? What do you think about Kanye taking it to Twitter? Don't forget to subscribe. This is Brett. I'm Grace. We'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.